So, I want to do the lemon experiment. So this is just a quick overview of hypnosis. For those of you that don't know, I've been studying hypnosis for a while, but I'm currently getting certified in hypnosis. Um, so most people hear the word hypnosis and imagine someone clucking like a chicken on stage. When I told my daughter I was getting my hypnosis certification, she literally asked, was I gonna turn people into chickens? Like, no, I'm not turning anybody into chickens. That's entertainment. Um, real hypnosis is something you experience every single day. And today I'm going to prove it in less than 2 minutes. Um, so what is hypnosis? It isn't mind control. It's a naturally focused state of attention where the busy and analytical part of your mind quiets down enough that your subconscious becomes more receptive and more open to helpful ideas and change. Um, and you've probably already been hypnotized multiple times today. Like if you've ever been driving somewhere and you get there and you realize you don't remember part of the drive, or you've gotten so lost in the movie that you forgot the world around you, or you open social media and you're getting ready to post or do something specific. Next thing you know, 45 minutes has passed. Those are all light trance states. And I want you to imagine an iceberg. So you hear people say that's just the tip of the iceberg, and it's usually a reference meaning, we're just getting started. We haven't even scratched the surface because when you look at an iceberg, only the tip of it sticks out of the water. Over 80% of it is unseen. So you've got this tiny piece that's sticking above the water, and that's your conscious mind. That's where logic lives, your willpower, your decision making, your short-term thinking. But beneath the surface, where over 80% of the rest of that iceberg is, that's the much larger part. That's your subconscious. That's where your habits live, your automatic emotional responses, your beliefs, your memories, your identity. Most lasting changes don't happen by arguing with the conscious mind with a little piece that's sticking above, because it's all happening by it happens by working with the subconscious. And between those two parts of the mind is something hypnotists call the critical factor at the waterline. So this is kind of like, you can imagine this as like a bouncer at an exclusive club. So every thought, every belief, every suggestion, it gets checked by the bouncer before it's allowed inside. And its job, of course, the bouncer's job is to protect the club, to protect you. So if you believe your entire life that I'm not good enough, I always fail, money is hard, then the moment someone tells you you're amazing, success is easy, you're worthy, your bouncer is going to be like, don't come over here with that. Like, no, you don't get a pass, you don't get in, because this is unfamiliar. That doesn't match the identity that we've been protecting. So, like, no. And it's gonna get bounced out. um and where this bouncer comes from is way back when we were children, and we because children absorb information differently from adults. Before our critical thinking is fully developed, many repeated experiences, messages, and beliefs, they become deeply ingrained. And eventually our minds begin filtering new information based on what it already believes is true. So that's why two people can hear the exact same compliment, and one is like, I know, thank you. And the other is like, yeah, you just trying to be nice. Like, ew. Same words, different programming. And you're already being programmed. You've been The program is started at birth pretty much. And here's the fascinating thing, like whether you realize it or not, like you're constantly being influenced by marketing, social media, commercials, the news, family, teachers, culture, religion. If you've ever believed one laundry detergent is the best, or one phone brand is superior, or one restaurant is the only place worth eating, ask yourself, like, did you carefully compare every single option, or did repeated exposure shape what you felt is true? Um, our brains naturally learn through repetition and what's familiar and emotion, and it's not a flaw, it's how we are wired. And the difference is that hypnosis helps you become more intentional about the patterns you are reinforcing. So, um, I would love to show you just in a couple minutes how powerful your imagination already is. Of course, if you're like driving, operating machinery, or doing something important, you can save this for later and come back. But um, if you're able to do so, like just allow yourself to relax for a minute. If you're safe to close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes down and take a nice, easy breath in and let it out. One more time, just because that felt amazing. In and out. And you don't have to force anything, just allow yourself to settle for a moment. And now imagine that right where you are, whatever door is near you, the door opens, and I walk into the room, and I'm carrying a large silver tray. And sitting on that tray is a big, bright, yellow, juicy lemon. And take a moment to just really picture it. Look at the color. Notice the shape. Maybe you can see the texture of the skin. Now imagine that I set the tray down in front of you, and I pick up the lemon and I begin cutting it into wedges slowly. You might hear the knife moving through the lemon as I cut into it. Imagine that fresh citrus smell filling the air. Now I pick up one of those lemon wedges and I hand it to you. Take it. Imagine feeling that lemon in your hand. Maybe you can feel the coolness of it, the texture of the peel, and perhaps there's a little bit of sticky lemon juice getting onto your fingers. Now bring that lemon wedge toward your mouth and imagine opening your mouth, placing that juicy lemon wedge on your tongue and taking a big bite. Feel the juice burst into your mouth. Feel it washing over your tongue, your teeth, your gums. Notice that intense, sour, tart, citrusy taste. Maybe your mouth is watering a little. Maybe you're puckering your lips. Maybe you can almost feel yourself wanting to make the face you make when something is really sour. And just notice whatever happens in your body. And now take one more easy breath in and exhale. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back into the room. Now, here is my question. What did you notice? What did you notice? Maybe you noticed a certain smell, a certain taste. Maybe your mouth even watered a little bit. Maybe your face scrunched up because you realized how sour the lemon was. And now I want to take this a little bit deeper. Think about your own life. What's your lemon? What's something that isn't physically happening right now, but your body responds to it as though it is? Maybe it's an embarrassing memory. Maybe it's something someone said to you years ago. Maybe it's fear about something that hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's an argument you keep replaying in your head, or maybe it's walking into a room and immediately feeling like you're not good enough. Um, it could be thinking about money and suddenly feeling that knot in your stomach. Walking into a room and immediately feeling like you're not good. Oh, pause that. Imagine um, or maybe it's imagining something that's going wrong, or feeling your heart rate change. Um, Pretty much any event that's not happening in this moment, but your body doesn't necessarily know that, because your mind creates this picture and then your body responds. So, just a little exercise for those of you who made it through the whole video. Write down what your limit is, whatever that is for you. What thought, memory, belief, or imagined scenario creates a physical response in your body. Don't judge it. Don't try to fix it. Just take notice to it. Write it down and spend a little time observing the connection between the thought and the feeling and the physical response. Because once you recognize the pattern, you can begin to become intentional about changing the pattern. Um, and that's where hypnosis gets interesting, because if your mind can create a physical response to something that isn't physically happening, then what happens when we intentionally give your mind a new suggestion, a new image, a new possibility? And that's what we're going to explore together. Um, for those of you who are following along anyway. Um, and that wasn't hypnosis in the way most people imagine it. That was simply an illustration of how powerfully your subconscious responds to focused attention and imagination. Imagine what becomes possible when we intentionally work with that part of the mind to update beliefs, release old patterns, and create lasting change. And over the next several weeks, I'll be sharing a lot more about hypnosis, how it works, how I'm training to use it as another tool to help people create real transformation. And I can't wait to take you along for the journey. So if you made it this far, amazing. I just want to say one last thing, because most people spend their lives trying to fight themselves with willpower. And I don't want to teach women to fight themselves anymore. I want to teach them how to work with their mind instead, because your subconscious is not the enemy. It's not the enemy. It can feel like the enemy sometimes, but it's not the enemy. It's been trying to protect you all along the best way it knows how. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of an update. So, with that said, until next time, my loves, remember, you are an unstoppable badass worthy of everything your heart desires. Let's get it.